we solve the questions related with the NCERT. So now we will solve some questions, right? First, that identify the type of tissue present in the structure 6, right? What is that? This is the diagram, right? This is the schematic diagram of the blood circulation in the humans, which is also given in NCERT at page number 287, right? It is the diagram of NCERT which is given at page number 287, right? What will happen here? That one represents the lungs, right? It is lungs. Then it is the pulmonary vein, right? Second is the pulmonary vein, because we know that it carries the oxygenated blood, right? That is because you can see here by the pulmonary vein that when it enters inside the left atrium, then blood goes to the left atrium to left ventricle, then left ventricle to systemic artery, then systemic artery to ascending aorta, then arch of aorta, then the descending aorta, and again divides into the branches here, right? So what will happen now? So what is that? That is dorsal aorta. The third one is the dorsal aorta. Clear? That fourth one shows the smooth muscles. That fourth shows the smooth muscles, right? That is the, if it shows that mid white portion, that is called the lumen, right? And if it shows, so that is the lumen of artery. This is the artery, right? That's why that artery denotes here, right? That is the artery. Now what will happen? This is that sixth one is the capillary, right? That is the structure of the vein. That is the structure of the vein. Again, that seventh one is the lumen. Eighth one is the smooth muscle, right? That ninth is the vena cava. Right, which enters inside the right atrium. Clear? And this is the pulmonary, that 11th is the pulmonary artery, right? Because when we draw a schematic diagram to describe something, so we use the blue color for the deoxygenated blood and red for the oxygenated, right? So simply this is the division, and that 10th represents the heart. Clear? So this is the diagram of the NCERT. So you have to learn the NCERT diagrams with their enumeration. Now we will we can solve easily that kind of questions which is based on this diagram, right? Identify the type of tissue which is present in the structure 6. And what is the structure 6? That is the structure 6, that is the capillary, right? And we know that the capillary is lined with the simple squamous epithelium. Why? Because it is internal lining of the capillary is called the endothelium. It is single cell layer, right? It is single cell layer. So the most correct answer is Bombay, right? So the most correct answer is the Bombay, that is the simple squamous epithelium. Why? Listen carefully. That sixth structure shows the capillaries, right? And we know that capillaries is lined with the single cell, that is the endothelium, which is the internal lining of the blood vessel. that endothelium is lined with the simple squamous epithelium. Why? Because there it is involved in the rapid filtration and diffusion, right? So the most correct answer is the simple squamous epithelium. Clear? Identify the above that the structure which have the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood respectively. Identified that structure, right, which has the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood respectively. So you can see that two, that means the pulmonary vein, right, pulmonary artery. First we have to recognize the oxygenated blood and then deoxygenated, mark it, right, not deoxygenated and oxygenated. So when we correlated with, first we talk about the oxygenated. So oxygenated blood carried by the 2 number, that is the pulmonary vein, right, pulmonary vein. That 3 also carries the oxygenated blood, which is called the dorsal aorta, right, and yeah, complete, that is oxygenated. Clear? So 2 and 3, it is all only given in D option, right. Even that 5 shows the lumen of artery, right, that 5 shows the lumen of artery. So we can correlate it with the clear. So that artery, why there is, that is, now come to the here, why will not consider that fifth one? Because just because of all these, right. Now deoxygenated blood, so deoxygenated blood is carried by the 9, right, that is the pulmonary artery, and deoxygenated blood is carried by that vein also, right, that means 7th and 8th, no, that 8, no, right, and vena cava and pulmonary artery, right. So that is the pulmonary artery, right, that 9th one is the vena cava. Clear? So now what will happen here? 9 and 11 and 2 and 3. So the option is that this is correct, but 9 and 3 is the dorsal aorta, right, and it cannot carry the deoxygenated blood. That's why that option is not considered. So the correct answer is the D. Clear? Now come to that question, right, what will happen? Come to the question number 3. Identify the 2, 5, 6, 4, 1 respectively. So first we have to identify that diagram. Actually that is related with the formed elements, which is given in NCERT page number 279. It is given in NCERT page number 279, that diagram, right. That one is the RBC, that one is the RBCs, right, that 2 is the platelets. These 3 you can see here, this is bilobed, that is bilobed, that is eosinophil, right. That is 4th one, that basophilic granules is secreted. So you can see here the granules. So what is this? That 4th one is the basophil, right. Come to here, that is you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 3 to 5 lobed nucleus, that means it is the neutrophil. right? So this is the 3 to 5 lobed cell RBC, that is called the neutrophil. You can see that sixth one, that nucleus is looks like the monocyte, right? That is the kidney shaped nucleus. That's why that sixth is the monocyte. That seventh one is called the T lymphocytes. And that eighth one is called the B lymphocytes, right? So these are the structures. Now we'll come to the identify to 2, 5, 6, 4, 1. 2 platelets, 5 platelets comes in 3 options, right? That is A, C and D. So B is cancelled, right? 5 is the neutrophil again comes in the A and C, that is D also cancel, right? 6 is the monocyte and that is present only in that option, that is the C option, right? Then fourth one is the basophil, and fifth that is 1 is the RBC. So the correct answer is the C. Clear? So we will we have to be learn these kinds of these diagrams of the NCERT, right? And this type of question comes from the each and every line of NCERT with their diagrams even. Clear? Now come to the fourth, that is the choose the correct option, right? When we know that in column 1, that is the animals is given and 2 their related features. So now come to match the column. First one, fishes 2 atria 1 ventricle. No, because fishes has the 2 chambered heart, right? So 2 chambered heart, that is 1 atria 1 ventricle. So fishes 1 atria 1 ventricle, exactly. Clear? Single circuit circulation is present in fishes, exactly. That's why the fish's heart is the venous heart, na, right? Then incomplete, no 2 atria, no complete, no body receives mixed blood, no heart only receives the deoxygenated blood, exactly. The heart only receives the deoxygenated blood. That's why the fish's heart is called the venous heart. So related with fish, that is 2, 3 and 8, right? That is 2, 3, 8 is given only in first option, right? So we can solve on the basis of that only, but we have to read all the options carefully, because in that type of question maybe in that given only just one, but if we put that 8 here also, sorry, here also, and changes in some others option, then, right? So we have to match the all options. That is amphibians heart, we know that 3 chambered heart, that is 2 atria 1 ventricle, that is Bombay is here, right? And amphibians heart shows the incomplete double circuit circulation, exactly, that is right, that is fourth also. Clear? And 2 atria 2 ventricle, no. Complete double circuit, no. Body received mixed blood, exactly, body received mixed blood, right? So it is related with the amphibians. Then crocodile, birds and mammals, they have the 4 chambered heart, that is 2 atria 2 ventricle, exactly. Complete double circuit circulation, exactly. So now the answer is A. Clear? Come to the next question. What will happen in that question? These are the statements, we have to read it, but what in that question, what he wants, that sympathetic nerves perform the above functions, right? And we know that as its name suggests sympathetic, then we have to click that sympathetic nerve fibers is related with the cardio accelerator. You know that? We already discussed it now, that it correlate it with the cardioaccelerator. That cardioaccelerator, remember that regulation of heartbeat, right? Regulation of heartbeat, and in regulation there are two kinds of regulation, neural and the hormonal, right? So in cardioaccelerator, that accelerates the heartbeat to maintain the pace of heartbeat, right? In NCERT it is given at page number 287 in the regulation of cardiac activity, that is 18.5, right? Heading number 18.5, that is the regulation of the cardiac activity. So now according to that, its name, as its name suggests, cardio accelerator, that means it accelerates the heartbeat. So what will happen? Decreases the heartbeat? No, that statement is wrong, right? Decreases the strength, so decrease all the options which carry the decrease related to cardio accelerator, it's wrong. Clear? Now what will happen? That means we will say that it is also wrong, right? So all these wrong. Now we have to go for the increase, but be careful, not only to see the increase you have to write it. No, read the sentence properly. Maybe it in that particular sentence some changes are there which is not related with the cardio accelerator, right? So in third option, it increases the cardiac output. Yes, obviously, because it increases the heart rate. So when heart rate is increases, then the cardiac output is also increases. Why? Because we know that the cardiac output formula is stroke volume into the heart rate per minute, right? Clear? So simply that's why if the heart rate increases, then automatically cardiac output is also increases, right? So the correct answer is the Bombay. Clear? If you can understand each and every line of NCERT right, openly in a scattered manner, right, then you'll crack the exam easily. Actually, in one line of NCERT there are number of informations, right? So just to read the NCERT, it's not possible to crack the exam, right? Clear? You have to understand the lines of the NCERT. Clear? So now come to the next question. Select the incorrect statement, right? It is related with the different part of NCERT, that is, it is related with the hormonal regulation, which is given at page number 287, right? It is related with the diseases, which is given in page number 287, because it is related with the high BP, that disorder which belongs to 18.6, that is disorder of, एक second, right? Page number 287, 18.5, 287, 18.6. Clear? RBC is called as the red blood cells. It is given at page number 279. Right? It is given at page number 279, that is 18.1.2. right, related to the RBCs, that is formed elements, right, and it is given in the circulatory pathway. Clear? That is at page number 282. Clear? So now what will happen? See how we can use the NCERT statements to frame a question. Now they select the incorrect statement, right? Inhibition, that means to inhibit the adrenal cortical hormones. That means if we stop the adrenal cortex hormones, right, like the mineralocorticoid, that is aldosterone, right? So it increases the BP. As in first option, he said that inhibition of adrenal cortical hormone, and we know that the adrenal cortex secretes the three group of the hormones, that is, first one is the mineralocorticoid, which secretes the aldosterone mainly, right? Second group is the glucocorticoids. It secretes the cortisol and corticosterone, right? And the third group is the gonadocorticoids, right? So what will happen? It secretes the sex corticoids. Clear? It secretes the sex corticoids. So in that case, what will happen? If it is talking about the blood pressure, then blood pressure is related with the mineralocorticoid. It is related with the mineralocorticoid, mainly the aldosterone. Why? Because that aldosterone is known as the salt retaining hormone. Salt and water retaining, actually salt and water retaining hormone, because when salt retains salt, then automatically water run behind the salt, right? So automatically there is absorption of the water occurs just due to the absorption of the salt, right? So when the absorption of salt and water is here, then what will happen? It always increases the blood pressure. Why? Just to increase the salt and water, the volume of blood increases. If the volume of blood increases, then what will happen? The blood pressure increases, right? That's why the salt is, we suggest the patient of the hypertension to take the low sodium salt, right? Clear? So in that statement, what he say? It increases the BP. Inhibition increases the BP? No, inhibition decreases the BP. So that statement is wrong, right? That statement is wrong. Clear? High BP leads to the heart disease, correct, and also affects the vital organs like the brain and kidney. It is exact line of the NCERT related to the hypertension, right? So that statement is correct. RBCs are called the red blood cells, and because they contain the red colored pigment hemoglobin, exactly, this is correct, right? And sponges and coelenterate circulates the water from their surrounding to their body cavities to facilitate the cell to exchange the substances, exactly, that is also correct, right? So what in that question he asked about the incorrect statement, so answer is A, right? So you have to correlate all the informations. Clear? Now come to the next. Choose the correct statement. Again, this is related with the disorders of the circulatory system, which is given in NCERT, page number 288. Right? It is given in page number 288. Select the correct statement because it is related with the diseases, that is the CAD, that is the coronary heart disease, decreases the lumen of vessels that blood supply to the heart muscle, exactly, because it's about the coronary heart, that is coronary arteries, right? And coronary arteries supply the blood to the heart muscles. These are the internal vessels of the heart. Clear? That's why that statement is correct. Atherosclerosis is caused by due to the deposits of the calcium, iron, fat, cholesterol, fibrous tissues in the lumen of arteries. This is the exact line of CAT. This is given in the second second and third line of that page number in CAT, right? So that statement is also correct. And heart failure is sometimes called the congestive heart failure. Why? Because congestion of lungs is done as the main symptom of that disease. Listen carefully. We know that see here, we know that in between the lungs, the mediastinal space is present, right? The mediastinal space is present, and in left lung, there is cardiac notches present where the heart is situated, right? This is called the region of heart. That's why that is called the cardiac notch, right? So when the congestion increases in the lungs due to some infection, so the amount of pleural fluid increases. That means in case of the pleurisy, right, even in case of the pleurisy, patient's lungs condition, that pleurisy affects that heart also, right? So that's why there is no appearance of the symptoms, right? There is no appearance of the symptoms exactly, but we can say that due to the congestion of the lungs, that is the specific symptom of the congestive heart failure, just due to the congestion, excessive pressure which exerts around the heart, right, which exerts around the heart and heart wall. It inhibits the proper functioning of the heart, and that is called the due to that the heart failure occurs just due to the congestion. That's why the heart failure is sometimes called the congestive heart failure, because the congestion of lungs is one of the main cause of the disease. So exactly, it's correct, right? So the correct answer is all correct. That is, answer is D, right? Answer is D. Now come to the next question. Identify the indicating points 12, 8, 2, 9 respectively. So first you have to identify that structure. It's exactly given in NCERT, right? This is the diagram of NCERT, page number 283, right? Diagram number 18.2. Clear? Diagram number 18.2 in NCERT. Actually, what will happen now? As we know that one is called the vena cava. First we enumerate all the numbers, right? That 7 shows the aorta, right? That 8 shows the pulmonary trunk. Actually it's pulmonary trunk, but in NCERT it's just given like the pulmonary, right? But it is the pulmonary trunk, right? That 9th shows the left atrium. See here, that left atrium. That 10th show, you can see here, that is the AV node. That bundle of His, and bundle of His again divided into 2 branches, and these are the Purkinje fibers. So that 10 shows the bundle of His, right? That 11 shows the left ventricle. That 12 show the interventricular septum. interventricular septum, right? That 13th shows that the apex of the heart, this is the apex of the heart, that 13th one, right? Now see here, that is the 6th one, that is the right ventricle, right? That 5th one, these indicates towards the cord, so these are called the chorda tendineae, right? These are called the chorda tendineae. See, that 4th shows that yellowish node, right? And that is called the AV node, atrioventricular node. That 3rd indicates towards the right atrium, right? That 2, that is again a nodal tissue, right? That is again a nodal tissue. It represents, that 2 represents the SA node. Clear? So now we will have all the enumeration of that diagram. So come to the question. Identify the indicated points, that is 12:8. 12 is the interventricular septum. Where is interventricular septum? It is present in 1, in respectively actually, right? So 2 cancel, 3 cancel, C cancel, 4th is also cancel. Very good, right? So the correct answer is given in A, right? That interventricular septum. 8th is the pulmonary trunk, it is given here, or we can say the pulmonary artery, right? Then 2, that is SA node, and 9th respectively. 9th is there, that is the left atrium. Clear? So the correct answer is A, right? So when this is the pattern to question, to solve the question actually, right? Now what will happen if when we take this 12, right, and compare the interventricular septum is present in which option, then we will have to just mark it that we have to consider those options, right, and other one is not relevant with that. Clear? So this is the easiest method to solve the questions without any error. Now come to the next one. Again, you know that in that structure, damaging of dash may lead into the heart block, right? As we know that, we know about all these structures, right? We know about all these structures. That is, it is vena cava. Clear? That is the SA node, right atrium, AV node, chorda tendineae, right ventricle, apex, interventricular septum, left ventricle, bundle of His, left atrium, pulmonary artery or pulmonary trunk, and that is aorta. Clear? So now when we talk about the heart block actually, right, when he talked about the heart block, that means there is the the deformity in the nodal tissues, right? That is the damage or deformity in the nodal tissues, because when the impulses not travel properly, then our heart is not able to work, right? Impulses comes to here, but according to that our heart is not responding now, right? So when we see that the SA node, then impulses goes toward the SA node, then AV node, then bundle of His, then Purkinje fibers, then the wall of ventricles, right? Now see from where that question arises, right? In NCERT part, in NCERT page number 284, right? Topic number 18.3.1, right? Where in last paragraph some lines are coded here about the action potential and the nodal system, right? So nodal system, that whole structures form a nodal system which is responsible for the generation of the impulse in the whole heart, right? So when we correlated with the heart block, so what is heart block actually? Heart block is the abnormal heart rhythm, right? That heart block it is abnormal heart rhythm where the heart beats too slowly, right? Which results in electrical signals, right? Which results in electrical signals being partly or totally blocked, right? In NCERT, the heart block word is not used, exact that word is not used here, but indirectly in that particular page number 284, I tell you what lines of the use to show that, right here. Heart block, totally blocked between the upper atria and the lower ventricle, right? Totally blocked between the upper atria and lower ventricle. That means simple, that is the failure of that nodal system. So when SA node which is present in the upper atria does not generate a wave of contraction, that what will happen? AV node cannot recognize the cannot receive the impulse. So according to that wave of contraction if not generated, then bundle of is then Purkinje fiber which is present in the lower part, and then they transmit the impulses towards the wall of ventricle, right? If there is deformity in that, so that wall of ventricle, that is the lower ventricle, does not receive any kind of impulse, so the heart is not able to beat properly, right? That is called heart block. So come to the in NCERT, it is given at page number 284, right? So same these lines are are given in the NCERT, that these structures forms a nodal system, right? These structures forms a nodal system which is responsible for the transmission of the nerve impulses, right? So now what will happen to understand that which kind of structures, if these structures are damaged, then we will not be able to generate a proper rhythm of heart, that is SA node that is 2, right? 2 is given in two options, that is both of these are cancelled, both of these options are cancelled, that is B and C is cancelled, right? Now what will happen? Second is AV node, right? First is S in that 2, then second is AV node, so AV node number is 4, that is 2 and 4, that which is given in both options A and D. Now the third one is the bundle of His, so bundle of His is that is the 10th number, right? 10th and 13th which is given, that is apex. No, there is no role for here, right, of the apex, so that D option is also cancelled. So the correct option is A, right? So now you can understand how NCERT used his words to frame a question, right? So this is the pattern to solve the questions and to understand the NCERT properly, right? Now come to the next one. Next question, in a young person, AV valve and the semilunar valves, right? Here it is talking about the AV valve, that is atrioventricular valves, and the semilunar valves, right, works properly, okay? When it works properly, it's AV valve that is related with the bicuspid and tricuspid valves, right? These are called the AV valves. And which one of the following situations suggests interatrial septal perforation, right? This is not given in NCERT, that particular but that is value based question actually, right? That term is not given in NCERT, but it is related, that question is related with the NCERT functions which is given regarding that valves, right? So listen carefully. We know that the bicuspid and tricuspid valve, bicuspid which is also known as the mitral valve, and tricuspid with tricuspid which is present at the right side, and bicuspid is situated at the left side, right? Semilunar valves is pulmonary and aortic semilunar valves, and these prevents what? These prevents the backward flow of the blood, right? So what will happen now in question? Level of, if the interatrial septal perforation, right? What condition, in what in interatrial septal perforation, what will happen? What kind of symptoms we found here? That is asked in that question. That's why they said that which one of the following situations suggests the interatrial septum. That means which kind of symptoms show the interatrial septum. Interatrial septum, that means when we talk about that, right, it is present in both of the septum, between the septum, right? That is the right atrium and the left atrium, and between that coronary arteries and the also present. So what will happen now? The level of carbon dioxide is equal in the left atrium and pulmonary vein. No, right? Level of the oxygen is equal in pulmonary vein and aorta. No. Level of carbon dioxide is different in right and left side of the heart. Maybe, but it's not related with the interatrial septal perforation. So what will happen? The level of oxygen is different in coronary arteries and the inferior vena cava, obviously, because at the interatrial septal perforation, right, there is the chances of the mixing of blood, right? So from right atrium and left atrium, interatrial septum when perforated, so the concentration of oxygen and the carbon dioxide is differ from that. Clear? So in that case, the most, both are correct, but when we talk about, so the most appropriate answer is the D. When the AV valve and semilunar valves work properly, so just it's a difference of the level of oxygen in is different in coronary arteries and the inferior vena cava. Clear? So answer is D. Come to the next, that is the select the correct statement about the RBCs in humans. We note that the RBCs in human, just to listen that word, all the informations of RBCs just strike in your mind that RBCs is the most abundant form of cells in your body, right? Clear? Blood cells in your body, that is 5 to 5.5 million per cubic mm of blood, right? It carries the oxygen carrying pigment, that is hemoglobin, respiratory pigment, right? Then its lifespan is 120 days. In humans it is circular, biconcave, non-nucleated, right? Clear? Lifespan is 120 days. So now what will happen? And now come to the options. What information asked in that question? It is non-nucleated, that means it is related with the structure of RBCs, right? Non-nucleated, right? Biconvex, no. Circular, right? Red, right. But it's not biconvex, that's why that option is wrong, right? Now non-nucleated, right? Biconvex again, so that option is also cancelled, right? Nucleated, biconcave, nucleated, no, that option is also wrong because humans RBCs are non-nucleated, right? Non-nucleated, biconcave, red, circular, right? So answer is D. Clear? Now come to the, and yes, this information is given in NCERT page number 279, right? 18.1.2 in first paragraph of RBCs. Clear? Now come to the again, that is neutrophils, basophils, that is related with the WBCs, that is again that is the information regarding the blood cells, that is the formed elements, which is also given in the page number 279, 18.1.2 in second paragraph of the WBCs, that is the leukocytes, right? Sorry, in third paragraph, that is related with the leukocytes. So now we know that the WBCs are of two types, that is granular and agranular, right? In granular, neutrophil, basophil, eosinophil is present. In agranular, lymphocyte and monocyte is involved, right? So now what will happen? We have to choose the correct statement, select the correct statement, right? So come to here. Neutrophil and basophil are involved in allergic reaction. Basophil is involved in allergic reaction because it acts as a mast cell and secretes the histamine, heparin, right? It secretes the histamine, heparin and the serotonin, right? But neutrophil acts as a phagocytic cell. It acts as a phagocytic cell, so it's not participate in the allergic reaction. So first statement is wrong. Neutrophil, that is phagocytic cell, monocytes, that is phagocytic cell, involved in phagocytes, right? Basophils and eosinophil both are involved in allergic reaction, right? All the leukocyte maintains the immunity in the body, exactly. So B and C option, no. Only B, C and D, that is the correct answer is D.